Hey guys, how's it going? Connie here at etrailer.Com. We're going to be taking a look at the Kodiak synthetic bearing oil today. So our bearing oil here comes in a nice little convenient 8-ounce bottle. Keep in mind for installation, the only thing we're really going to need is a pair of gloves, because we want to avoid getting this on our skin. We're also going to need some sort of pry tool such as a screwdriver so we can pry free the cap on our oil bath hubs. So the biggest question you're probably wondering is how much you need. And that's going to be based on how many axles and how many hubs we have. Now for our fifth wheel trailer here, it has two 7,000-pound axles. But what we found is about 1.5 bottles is going to be enough to fill all 4 of our hubs here. So you can keep that in mind and order the amount that you need based on the number of trailer axles you have. So our bearing oil is going to be designed specifically for Kodiak oil bath hubs. However, it can be used with pretty much any other manufacturer's hubs as well. You just need to verify that the weight rating of the oil is correct. This oil has a 90 weight, which is going to work for most trailer brake hubs here, such as these Kodiak. So as long as you verify with your manufacturer, you should be able to use this no matter what brand of hubs you have. So in regards to oil versus grease lubrication, I definitely prefer the oil. It is a little bit less cost effective than grease, but however, I'm sure if you've messed with grease, it gets really messy. It can be a pain in the butt to do your yearly maintenance. In regards to the oil bath here, it's not going to be messy at all. It's going to be super simple, therefore maintenance is going to be a lot easier. In order to properly service our hubs here, what we're going to want to do is, first we're going to remove our rubber cap here. We're going to pry that off, and that's going to allow us access so we can fill our hubs here. So then once we have the cap off, what we're going to do is, we're going to take our nozzle here, we're going to point it inside this little opening here, and then we're going to gently squirt in our oil while we're turning our hub at the same time. Now we don't want to make big squirts, just want to slowly let it out as we're rotating the hub. Once we feel we have a good amount in there, we can go ahead and stop and let the fluid settle. What we're looking here for is a slow drip out of the bottom opening here. So once we get this slow drip there, we know they're full, we can put our cap back on. However, if you're doing a new installation, chances are you're going to need to repeat this process a couple times to let all the oil sit down and go back in the hubs here. So looks like we could add a little more here. So then we're going to stop. What we're looking for here is just a little bit to start dripping out. Once that does so, we can go ahead and wipe that off, put our cap back on. You can see here we do have a little bit coming out there at the end there, which is perfect, just what we want. We don't want to make a big nest right now, so just going to clean that up. We can insert our cap or our plug back into the cap, just like that. So we went ahead and let our hubs sit a little while to let the oil work into the hubs here. We didn't need to add any more here, but you can see we have a perfect fill line, which is going to be right below the plug on our cap here. So now we know we have the perfect amount of fluid in order to properly lubricate our bearings. So overall, our oil bath lubrication here is going to be a lot less messier, easier to maintain than our grease lubrication, which is why I prefer upgrading if applicable. For our particular trailer here that we're upgrading to disc brakes on, there is an application for both grease and oil. So if you have the extra funds, I definitely recommend checking out oil bath lubrication here and using our Kodiak synthetic bearing oil. And that's going to do it for our look at the Kodiak synthetic bearing oil.